Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. Today is Friday, October 17th. How's everyone doing? Give me 1 second here as I drop my headphones. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. It's nice to see you. It's a sunny day here in Chicago. It was a nice scooter ride into the office. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully everyone's feeling good. How's your journey going? How are things going? Hopefully good. I want to remind you, this is an accountability live stream. This is where I share my accountability with you all, but this is also an opportunity for you to share your accountability with us. Please let us know how you're doing, how you're feeling, whether good or bad. Today, pretty good day for me. If you see what the title of this live stream is titled, yes, it's reaching my lowest weight in over a year. I have finally broke back into the 130s. I did record it like I always do, and I feel like I'll go ahead and share with you all as I do that. And I broke into the high 130s today at 139.4. I'll go through those stats in a little bit, but that is the lowest weight I have been since August of 2024. It has been well over a year since I have broke this low in weight. And just to add a little here too, just to give you a little before and after, so you remember, we all know this. I've shown many of these clips before, just not even 2 years ago. And this was me this morning. I normally don't take a lot of videos with me and my shirt off, but just to give you an idea of where I'm at today. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of showing up. It's a lot of good days, but also a good amount of bad days. This is what imperfect consistency looks like. This is showing up for yourself every single day. Yes, there have been many hard days. There have been days where I ended up gaining a good amount of weight. Days where I didn't want to show up, but did regardless. I feel like many of us can get here. I feel like many of us can reach our goals, but a lot of that is going to depend on you. Can you show up for yourself? Can you show up for yourself even on the bad days? Can you face those issues? And that's exactly what this is for. This is for that accountability. Miss Peaceful One with a $2 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, nice to see you. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Miss Peaceful One says, congratulations on reaching 139.4. I'm so proud. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. When my app told me that it's been, I believe it said it was 13 months since I hit something this low, I was like, really? And sure enough, as I was going through my own stats, I was like, man, that is the lowest I've been in a while. And think about that. I got to this low right now, not through doing 65-hour fasts, not through 90-hour fasts. Not that there's anything wrong with doing longer fasts, but this is also proving to myself that I can do shorter fasts. I can control my calories. I can work on other things outside of fasting. So I'm going to get into a lot of those little bits and pieces later throughout the stream. But before I can continue on, like I said, this is not just about me. This is about the community and about how you're doing. So before I push forward, Maggie, May, Aisha, Tommy, nice to see you. Deja, how's it going? Who else is in here? Hopefully I don't miss anyone. Miss Peaceful One, I already said hello. Again, thank you for the super chat. Aisha, hello. Ian, how's it going? Willis, nice to see you. Sharika, hello, hello. There's so many of you chatting in here. For the Good, welcome, Kevin. Hello, Writer family. Hello, hello. Elena, I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Maybe you have been in here, you just haven't shared, or you're not as vocal as some of the others. Elena, nice to see you. Am I missing anyone? Shauna, how's it going? Did I already say hi? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Elle, nice to see you as well. Margaret from Facebook, how are you? Babita, hello. Kay Betters, hello, hello. Is that everyone? It might be. I'm just scrolling down to make sure. UA, nice to see you. Welcome, Blessed Life. How's it going? Randall, welcome. Blue Knight, hello. Eddie, hello. The Hearts and Cake, nice to see you all. Thank you for stopping by. So remember, this is an opportunity for you to share your journey on how things are going, whether good or bad. The importance is that you show up for yourself no matter what. Why is it important to still show up even on the bad days? Because that is how you figure this out. Imagine your bad days. Imagine if you're having a bad day. Imagine what you typically do on that bad day. Do you just give up? Do you just succumb to, well, you know what? It's Friday, might as well just enjoy the weekend. But really, enjoying the weekend is overeating the entire weekend. Not that you can't, but most of us put no awareness into it. We forget about all of the other important weight loss levers on our journey. And then Monday comes and you're like, man, this weekend was just completely nuts. I just did all of these things to myself where it didn't have to be that bad. That's all I'm saying. Show up for yourself every day if you can. Tanya, I see you in chat there. Hello, nice to see you. So I'm going to take some time. I'll see how everyone's doing, go through some chat here and share some knowledge. Remember, you're in chat, share with others as well as I put this up. Give some support, help each other out. This is about sharing the good and the bad. Tommy, nice to see you, Tommy. Sup, Jay Boogie. Am I fasting, peeps? Well, I weighed in this morning. I'm up a pound, but I'm not tripping because I know that it's due to my late eating these past 2 nights. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Tommy knows that there's an issue eating late at night. And instead of just saying, well, it is what it is, let's just start tomorrow, we'll go full strength, which if that's what Tommy wanted to do, that's fine. But the inherent problem still lies. You find yourself eating super late at night, Tommy. Maybe the next step here is, okay, you are eating late at night, but what choices are you making? Could you still make some healthier choices? And I know what the pushback is. Well, I'm already eating late at night, so I might as well just eat the worst food possible. And while you can do that if you'd like, there are still other options before getting to that route. You can still do other things for yourself before it has to come to that. And eventually, you might start saying to yourself, do I really absolutely need to eat this late at night? Sometimes I tell myself, okay, I could eat right now, super late at night, or I could just push until tomorrow morning. And if I'm still that hungry in the morning, then I'll break. Keep us posted, Tommy. Thank you for sharing with us. I appreciate you sharing. Tommy also says, though, sucks that I still get depressed when I step on the scale and the number isn't what I expected. And that's common. That's many of us. Many of us feel this way when we step on the scale. It's, in a lot of ways, it's human nature for us to feel a little demotivated, frustrated, but you have to trust the process. And actually, I'll share some of my numbers in a little bit so you understand how The weight on the scale is going to do what it wants to do, but are you working on your good, healthy habits? Are you pushing forward on your journey? Tommy says, I got this. Like my guy Jay Boogie says, fail forward. If you're not failing, you're not growing. If you're not failing, you're not learning. I think about even with what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to really get a lot better at my Tagalog, at speaking Japanese. And there are many days where it's so frustrating and I get so frustrated and I get upset because I'm like, why can I not get this down? But that's the entire part of the process. It's to struggle. That's how you get good. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. And that's like any of us that are here right now. Thank you for sharing, Tommy. Deja says, ended my fat fast yesterday at 171. This week, focusing on OMAD from my new carnivore cookbook. I just got to give, it gives you fun new options, but still low carb to keep a variety, which I think I need right now. Well, congrats on the fat fast. Hopefully that went well. It has felt impossible to get into the 160s. My body is fighting me. It feels like all month I've gone between 170 and 172, but nonetheless, I started working out and getting better at that habit too. And that's a really important point. Deja, I know what it's like to be stuck. Actually, you know what? Let me at least share this because I made a new slide recently that I was going to share a little later, but we might as well put this up right now. That's not, it's still showing my last slide, but let's take a look at this. I wanted to share with you all what my average weight was over the last 87 days. Do you see where it's highlighted in peach here? That is 30 days worth. From days 41 through days 70, my average weight was 145.9, 146.5. I put on weight and back to 145.9. That is exactly what you're saying, Deja. I was stuck and even up in weight for about a month. For a month. I actually looked at what that time frame was. And as weight started to push itself down, that was exactly on October 1st, when I started this month being even more diligent and making sure I'm putting myself at a caloric deficit. And sure enough, the weight has started pushing itself down. I notice it in my clothes. I notice it on the scale, obviously. I notice it in a lot of my other non-scale victories. So trust the process, Deja. I know you're working on all of your levers. I understand with anyone here right now, Tommy included, it's frustrating to see the scale not do what you want it to do. But remember, are you working on things outside of fasting? Like Deja says, working on working out. How is your sleep? Are you getting enough rest and recovery? Are you taking care of yourself? These things are super, super important as you continue your journey. Think about your non-scale victories. Are your clothes fitting better? That is, to me, a bigger indicator than what the scale says. To me, looking at myself with no clothes on and seeing if I'm slimmer or less fat is on me, I look at that as a bigger victory outside of just what the scale says. Aisha says, I'm 4 hours away from being 48 hours fasted. Congrats, Aisha, only down 2 pounds from yesterday. My morning weight today was 186. I got in over 3 liters of water, walked for 90 minutes total. I got to be patient. And you are. I love that you share with us every day what's going on with you, how you're feeling, where you are weight-wise, because that's you putting some accountability on the table when a lot of people can't even muster doing that. So thank you for sharing with us, as usual, Aisha. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here just to see if anybody else has shared anything in particular. Ian says, I'm slightly up on the scale today. Feel a little bloated, not going to let it bother me though. Finished a 19-hour fast earlier, and I'm currently attempting my biggest fast so far. How long is that? Did you mention that, Ian? Ian says around 46 hours. Ian, good luck to you on the 46. Just like everyone else, a lot of you are sharing right now some frustration on the scale. But what I'm seeing is a lot of you are saying, but I understand. It happens. Also, for many of you who are sharing a frustration on the scale, remember, you're not alone. Many of us go through this. Many of us face this obstacle. We have the same mindset when it comes to this. Ian, 46 hours, you haven't been able to push something this long. I'm rooting for you. I'm sure everyone in here is rooting for you as well. I mean, Ian has been sharing pretty much on a regular basis his fast somewhere around the 20-ish hour mark and still finding success dropping weight. And maybe right now, Ian's in a place where it's like, okay, maybe I want to push a little harder. Let me get a longer fast under my belt. Keep us posted, Ian. Congrats. Congrats. Did I miss anything here? I'm just, I'm scrolling back up just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I did. I missed Maggie's. I missed this too. Just starting my refeed after fasting for 24 hours. I gained 0.4 pounds this morning. So a lot of us are maybe experiencing some frustration with the scale. Congrats though, Maggie. And I know that you have a lot of your levers in check. It's just trusting the process, making it a routine for you, and you've been doing that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I'm going to scroll back down here. Deja says, a fun non-scale victory for me is I fit into a size 8 jeans today. Exactly what I'm talking about. First time in almost 14 years. I was a single digit jean size. Congrats, Deja. See, this is what I'm talking about. These non-scale victories, to me, they matter a lot more than just something like what the scale says. Thanks, Aisha, for the kind words. I'm just going through some of the chat here. Oh my goodness. I can't even. Goodness. Shauna just gifted 10 memberships to the Finally Fasting fam. If any of you just received a membership, please thank Shauna for the huge donation. Shauna, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. If any of you got that gifted membership, you will have a green color next to your name. You'll get a little badge that looks like this next to your name. Can we throw some F's up for Shauna, please? Shauna, thank you so much for the huge donation. For anybody who got a membership, you'll be able to use those custom emoji. Shauna, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. Such a huge donation. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me scroll up here. Did not expect that this morning. Not this morning. It's this afternoon at this point. Let me go down here. Now I lost my place completely. Okay. Kevin says 135 hours into 155-hour fast. Headed to the grocery store this afternoon to plan my refeed. I'm sure you're looking forward to it after being fasted for so long. Going to try and limit eating out to lunch, poke, and keep my calories below 3,000 for the day. So it sounds like you're kind of striving for what I usually aim for. Kevin, congrats on getting 135 hours in. Enjoy your refeed, which won't be too long from now. I know you can hold it out. Congrats on continuing these long fasts. Keep sharing with us where you're at. Willis says here, almost 45 hours fasted right now. Congrats, Willis. I love that for you. Keep us posted on how things are going. Elena says, hi there, 72 hours in, 95 hours to go. Wish me strength. All the wishing for you. All the luck to you. Also, a reminder, Elena, 72 hours, so you're 3 days in at this point. You want to do a full week. I love that for you. Keep us posted. I will say this, keep us posted either way. Whether you make it through that 1 week, if it ends up being earlier than that, no shame, no guilt, no embarrassment. Just show up for yourself. Share with us Let us know how you're doing. If you're struggling, there's no shame behind that. If you have to break early, if you have to modify the fast early, no shame in that. And I don't say that to discourage you. I say that so that if you find yourself swinging the opposite way, that it doesn't have to come to that point. Thank you for sharing with us, Elena. Thank you. Thank you. Writer says, my period brain keeps sabotaging my fasts, but thanks to these dailies, I'm making great choices and keeping the weight off. I love to hear that, Writer. Thanks to Jerome and all of you for holding this space open for everyone. This is another opportunity to really look at how people are handling these situations. Many of you who might be in here right now might be reading some of this and you're like, yeah, this is me. This is what I struggle with too. Look at what people are doing, sharing their experiences, sharing how difficult days can be, but they don't have to just walk away from it. They don't just have to throw away the day. Because why? They're practicing imperfect consistency. How many of you, thank you again for sharing, Writer. How many of you are here because it's the weekend and maybe you are going to eat out tonight? Maybe you have plans on Saturday. And because you have plans on Saturday, you're thinking to yourself, well, what's the point then? If I'm already eating on Saturday, I might as well eat shitty on Friday too. Do you have to? You can if you want to, but does it have to go that far? Could you at least make some changes where it doesn't have to result or resort to you just throwing away the entire weekend? Because it doesn't have to go that way. Imperfect consistency. I don't know how many times I can say it, but I feel like I say it enough times. Hopefully it'll get you in a place where you're telling yourself, I don't really have to just let the entire weekend wash away. And it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the weekend. It doesn't mean that you can't indulge or overindulge, but at least make the conscious effort to say, this is what I want to do. This is what I am going to do. Can you make some other changes? Can you still work out? Because why wouldn't you work out if you're getting extra calories? Why wouldn't you take advantage of that? You already hear me talk about the importance of strength training and keeping muscle or maintaining it or building extra. Because why wouldn't you work on increasing your metabolic rate? Those things are super important. Shauna says 45 hours into my ADF for today. Congrats, Shauna. Debating on 2 meals like I have been or just one longer one. Got to get that protein in though. And so maybe that means getting 2 in there. Maybe it means spacing it out enough. And here's also another win. Sometimes, of course, I keep my refeed times very short. Sometimes they're a lot more open, but when I keep them open, it's harder for me. But another thing that I can practice, another thing that Shauna can practice as well is if Shauna's having 2 meals, that means it's 1 meal, maybe keeping it as clean as possible, and then taking some time in between. Maybe it means not snacking in between that time. Maybe it means even hitting the timer and saying, okay, I had my meal. Now I'm going to give myself 10 hours before my next one, 8 hours before my next one, and then breaking into a second meal. Stopping your timer, refeeding, and then going again. Getting all the protein that Shauna needs. Hitting the calories that Shauna needs to hit. There are so many ways to do this. This is why you have to be very flexible in the way you fast, in the way you eat, in the way you exercise. I had this conversation with someone earlier today. They know who they are, but the one thing to think about too is, yes, there are ways to do things that people share on the internet, but it doesn't mean that it's set in stone. You don't have to fast for exactly 72 hours. You don't have to fast exactly like me for 90 hours. These numbers are arbitrary. These numbers are numbers that, for me, a 90-hour fast is a number that I made up because it worked for me. 65 is a number I made up because it worked for me. You do not have to follow the exact protocol. Why are you following everyone else when only you truly know how you feel? If you're feeling off one day, then it's time to break. and it's time to reset, and it's time to do the best for you, and then go again. No shame when it comes to that. Did I get oh my goodness, Elena with a 100. I'm not exactly sure what CZK is. Is it check? Either way, I know it's a yellow color, so I know it's a higher donation. Elena, thank you for the huge donation. Thank you for the support. Elena says your quote unquote imperfect consistency is such a powerful message. Thank you for helping us deal with our guilt. You're very welcome, but at the same time, I know that I really mean it when I say there should be no shame behind it, no guilt behind it, no embarrassment behind it, because we're human beings and we're imperfect. And I know that there might be other people that might be thinking, well, you're just encouraging people to fail. When the truth of the matter is, I'm not. I want people to push hard if they want to. I want people to go through an extended fast if they're feeling it. I want people to eat the cleanest that they can. I want people to go do amazing things, run a marathon, lift super heavy. I want people to do that. There's nothing from stopping you or anyone else from doing that. But it is the other side that I want people to stop. I don't want people to throw away the day. I don't want people to just give up, because that's been me. And when I give up that way, when I feel sad for myself, sorry for myself, guilty, I just imagine all the time I've wasted doing that. Because when you practice something like imperfect consistency, that's when you tell yourself, oh, okay, I didn't fast as long, but I could also work on my eating. I could also work on my exercise. Oh, I could still get my steps in even though I overate. Actually, I feel a lot more energetic now because I just ate a little extra. I might as well walk an extra mile, an extra couple kilometers. Elena, thank you for the huge donation. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up here. Just see if there's anything else I missed. And I know I'm not going to be able to get to everyone, but I appreciate people sharing their journey with me. I am like really too far. There's so many of you sharing now. And so I don't know how far up I can scroll here. Okay, I'm just going to read through a couple because I really don't. If I miss anything, you can retype it. And I'll try to get to it as I start going through my nerd stats. Blessed Life says, hi, Jerome and everyone. Some good news. I plateaued for 97 kg for 3 months. Today, I'm 94.5. Congrats, Blessed Life. My goal is to eventually get down to 60 or so. I started from 120. That's a huge drop. Thanks to rolling 72 and intermittent fasting. And Blessed Life, congratulations on the success. I love that for you. Look at how much progress Blessed Life has here. But here's what I want to point out. Look at the very end that Blessed Life says, thanks to rolling 72s and intermittent fasting. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about fasting flexibly. Yes, maybe Blessed Life has a routine of doing rolling 72s or somewhere around that number, but there's also intermittent fasting. So maybe it's a 72, maybe 2 72s in a row, maybe 3 in a row. And then maybe one day when Blessed Life might feel like they can't push a 72, it just means getting a 23 in. Maybe it means getting a 36 in. What it means is you are flexibly fasting. You are working with the numbers because it's not just about fasting. It's all about your other tools as well. I love that for you, Blessed Life. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm scrolling down here. Eddie, I see you in here. Did I say hello already? Maybe I did. I think I did. I just don't see that name often, so I'm just making sure I say hi. Pagoda, nice to see you. Welcome. Sid, hi, Sid. Nice to see you. Sid says, on day 5 of my 30-day water fast, had a really bad day at work yesterday and really wanted to eat some food, but decided not to. Congrats on keeping that discipline, that willpower. I got to find other ways to make myself feel better than food. And this is a really good learning moment for Sid and anyone else. Many of us cope with food. Many of us look to food for comfort. Look to food for boredom because we're stressed out, whether it's at work or at home, whatever family life, whatever is happening with your friends. Sometimes we're just having a bad day. And one of the easiest things that we can reach for that's convenient, that sometimes doesn't cost a lot of money, is food. And Sid realized that and said, I can make this through. I can push forward. Sid, congrats on being 5 days fasted. My hope and wish for you is that you get through these 30. Please continue to keep us posted. And then also remember, if you don't make it through the 30 days, no shame behind it, no guilt behind it, no embarrassment. All it means is if it's time to break, you hit your timer and you go again. It's as simple as that. It's as easy as that. No shame when it comes to that. I think the more important part is, how do you keep moving forward? How do you keep pushing through? Are you still working on your other weight loss levers? Thank you for sharing with us, Sid. Sleck says, in the 330s a month ago, got back up to high 340s, broke into the 330s again a week ago. Hope to never see 340s again. Sleck, thank you for sharing this with us. Thank you for being vulnerable in this way, because I see Sleck come in here and Sleck will share and sometimes have hard days, some days able to get through fasts. But I love the fact that you're sharing with us, that you know that you are continuing to work on your journey. And I hope you never see it again either. But regardless of what happens, just remember to ask yourself, am I working on good, healthy habits? Am I changing the way my brain thinks about doing things? Am I making better decisions if I don't fast as long? Am I still doing things outside of just fasting, particularly in that category? Select, thank you for sharing with us. I know you're here often and I know you share a bit with us, but I think this is the first time you've shared something like this. So I appreciate the transparency, especially sharing with many people who are here in chat. So thank you, Select. Keep it up. Keep it up. Thanks, Sharika. Sharika says, I had my coaching with Jerome. I'm excited for this week. I never get to be on the lives due to my job, but I need the accountability. Sharika, I hope the coaching session was good for you. It felt like it was. It felt like a step forward. So continue to keep us posted when you're able to make these live streams. Thank you for sharing with everyone as well. Pagoda says, I was 300, now at 230 in a year doing OMAD. Again, this is another example of somebody who isn't doing super long extended fasts. This is somebody who is sharing success doing something like OMAD. Congrats on losing 70 pounds doing OMAD. That's amazing. That's wonderful. I'm wondering, Pagoda, where are you at today? What is it looking like? Are you still continuing to drop weight? Are you finding yourself plateauing? Meaning, are you kind of staying at around the same weight? Are there other weight loss levers you're working on? What's your diet look like? What's your exercise look like? I ask these questions because even though I might not be able to talk through to everyone, I ask these questions because it's a coaching opportunity for you to be like, yeah, where am I at with that? You don't have to answer us, but maybe it's an internal question you have for yourself. So keep it up, Pagoda. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. I know I can't get to everyone. I'm so sorry. I will try to read more if I can. Even with Miss Peaceful One, I decided to eat today after fasting for 15 hours. Miss Peaceful One has shared many long fasts and has shared shorter ones and fasts in between. And this is a really good example of imperfect consistency. I decided to eat today after fasting for 15 hours. Miss Peaceful One has had fasts that are over 100 hours, have had 60-ish, have had 40-ish. And here is somebody sharing what imperfect consistency looks like. For whatever reason, right? Miss Peaceful One was like 15. This is where I'm at right now. I'm going to break. I'm going to refeed, and then I'm going to start again. I'm okay with it. I'll start the timer again at some point today and continue to fast intuitively. Hashtag imperfect consistency. I love to see it. Kudos to you for being accountable. Because think about it like this. How many of you have been here before and have fasted for 15 hours, your timer's running, and then you're like, 15 hours, this isn't worth it. So you won't even stop the timer. Instead, you're going to go get fast food. You're going to go eat. You're going to go eat the shittiest foods. And I'm not saying that you can't do that, but if you can't even hit the timer because you think it's not worth it, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not putting the work in. When literally all the work is pressing a button on your phone or jotting down how long you fasted for. If you can stay accountable, if you can show up for yourself, that is where the growth happens. Thanks for sharing with us, Miss Peaceful One. Sarah from Facebook says, hi, Jerome, you're looking great. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. I just had my one meal for the day after a 24-hour fast. Congrats. My plan is to do a longer fast next to kick in the autophagy for some health recent concern. Hopefully everything's doing okay, Sarah. Thank you for sharing with us. Congrats on the 24. I love that you're implementing a routine. So continue to keep us posted. Hopefully the health concern isn't too major. So thank you for sharing with us. Again, thank you for the kind words, Sarah. Okay, let me scroll down here. Athena, I don't even know how to respond to this. You look so young, thin, but chubby. You look old. That's incredible. So I look young and old, thin and chubby. Thanks, Athena. I'm not exactly sure how to really respond to that, but thank you. What's for tea? I don't think I've seen you in here before. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you, Margarita. Thank you for the kind words as well. It's nice to see you here. Tanya says, how do I become a member? So if you're looking to be part of the membership, there's a link to the membership in this live stream. Just go to the link in this live stream. You can click on that link and it'll give you the opportunity to be part of the Finally Fasting fam. Thanks for the question, Tanya. And for anyone else that's wondering, that's pretty much what you have to do. So, okay. Hi, Megan. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Blue Knight says, I'm on day 13 of a fast. It took me all year to do this. It's not easy. I was addicted to food. I feel much better and my mind is clearer. It feels good to not think about food all the time. It's one of the reasons I do what I do. It really gives me it really gives me an opportunity to take time away from food, where I'm not just thinking about food all day and all night. And kudos to you, Blue Knight, for being 13 days in. Just remember, continue to work on the other parts outside of just fasting. Because even for you to say, I was addicted to food, you and I both know that it doesn't go away tomorrow, because eventually, whenever it's time to break that fast, food reintroduces itself into our lives. And it doesn't always mean it's time to do another 13 or 14-day fast. Sometimes it means, how can I face these issues with food head on? What can I do for myself to make better choices? Do I always have to eat this way? And maybe you do at that moment. But again, everyone's relationship is different. But thanks for sharing with us, Blue Knight. Congrats on being that long into a fast. Bad Mash says, I'm literally at a wedding and fasting. That's tough. That's tough. Congrats to you. I couldn't do it at this point. I mean, I usually save my social events for eating days. So keep pushing it, Bad Mash. I love that for you. Thanks for sharing with us. Okay. Check crowns. I see. Thank you again, Elena. Thank you again. I appreciate the support. Adam, nice to see you. Thanks for the kind words. Keep working on it. Adam says, I'm working. I'm looking as healthy as you. Thanks. Thanks for the kind words, Adam. And I know you can do it. All of us can do it. I know all it takes for many of us is to just get our habits situated, to continue working on our good, healthy habits and continuing to break the bad ones. Bill says, do you think that all or nothing, I failed so I might as well quit mindset is just the brain trying to give itself permission to go back to old habits without feeling guilty? Bill, I mean, you're spot on. I believe there's a big part that's like that for many of us, because this is how I was for such a long time. If any of you are new here and you don't understand what all or nothing means, I always say this because I am somebody who deals with an all or nothing personality. What do I mean? I'm going to fast for 90 hours. This is what I would tell myself in my head. I'm going to fast for 90 hours. I'm going to fast for nearly 4 days. And then after fasting for that long, I'm going to eat. And then I'm going to do another 90-hour fast. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I lose the weight. That is my all or nothing brain. Now, here's the thing. Let's say I'm 22 hours into my 90-hour fast. At hour 22, I'm struggling. I feel like eating. And what's happening to me is, okay, I'm 22 hours in. I don't think I'm going to make it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to eat. And you know what? I'm going to eat really unhealthy because I just want to eat the shittiest food because you know what? I'm going to start tomorrow. Yeah, actually, let's do that. Let's just start tomorrow because tomorrow is a Monday and there's going to be 30 days before I have to go to this event. So it's 30 days exact. It's a perfect time. Is this familiar? Is this you? And then what ends up happening is you break, you eat awful, you forget about working out, and then you eat the worst ever. And then the next day, or that later that evening, you're like, okay, time to start. Now it's going to be exactly 30 days. I'm going to do 90-hour fasts. And then what happens? 23 hours later, you're in the same exact position. And you're like, okay, this is the last time. I'm going to order Grubhub. I'm going to spend $100. I'm going to do Instacart, spend another $50 here, get a bunch of junk food, and then I'll start tomorrow. And then I'll start tomorrow. And then I'll start next week. Oh, there's 21 days. That's exactly 3 weeks from now. Oh, 15 days is a good round number. Oh, there's 10 days left. I'll just fast for the next 10 days straight. That's the all or nothing personality. That is your black and white mindset. That is you trying to push too hard and not practicing imperfect consistency. And you're right, Bill. A lot of it is psychological. A lot of it is your brain giving itself permission to go back to these old habits. And here's the thing that I've thought about myself as well is sometimes I'm just hungry and I just have to eat. And I couldn't face that fact before. But does it have to be Grubhub? Does it have to be DoorDash? Does it have to be an entire package of Oreos? Could I still put some good choices in there? Could I still work out? And I know what the all or nothing mindset thinks because that's where I was. I would say, well, what's the point of doing any of that? Because I'm just going to eat like shit anyway. So what does it matter? When in reality, it matters a lot. That is how you rewire your brain. That is how you start incorporating good habits into your life. So it's a really good point, Bill. I really like you sharing that. I haven't seen A in a minute. Hey, coach, and finally fasting fam. It's nice to see you in here. Love seeing you in here. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down here. I know I can't get to everyone. We're already 45 minutes in. I haven't even shared all of my stats just yet. T-Love says, hey, Jerome. Hey, chat. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Jerome, I've hit my lowest weight since I was young. I started at 230 in December of 2023. And today I'm at 137, practicing inconsistent or imperfect consistency. I love that for you, T-Love. T-Love, congratulations. You and I were around the same weight and pretty much started around the same time. I started in November of 2023. I love that for you. And today I hit my lowest weight since last year, but for you, since you were young, I love that for you, T-Love. Congratulations on the success. I love that for you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing with everyone in here. That's a lot of encouragement for people who might be in here seeing that. And here, T-Love says, I mostly do 16-8, OMAD, and maybe a couple 36-hour fasts once a month. Again, I like to show these because it is a reminder for many of us who think that long, prolonged fasts are the only way. This is T-Love finding success, doing 16/8, fasting for 16 hours, doing OMAD, fasting for maybe 22, 23 hours, and maybe a couple of 36-hour fasts. Do you know what this means though? This means that T-Love has probably really worked on other weight loss levers when it comes to eating, when it comes to exercise, sleep, and other important things outside of just fasting. Thank you for sharing with us, T-Love. I love that. I love that for you. Congratulations. Megan says day 17 of 21 days. Megan, congrats, 17 days. I did a 30-minute walk. Adding electrolytes helped my leg pain yesterday. Are you getting cramps? Is that where you're at? Hopefully the potassium, if you are, is what helped you get there. But congrats on 17 days. And here's to no more leg pain. Megan, keep us posted. 4 more days. I love that for you. That's such an amazing feat. What's your plan after that, Megan? Share with us. I know I probably won't be able to catch everything, but I will read chat later and see where you're all at. So, okay. I need to get into, I had to scroll down because I need to get into my nerd stats. Peace to all. Nice to see you. I don't know if I've missed anyone else in here. Leanne, how's it going? I think that's mostly everyone. Gattaca, I see you in here as well. I just want to make sure I say hi to the people that are here before I get into it. So Sydney, I see you in here. Hello, hello. So I'm just going to recap because I want to, before I get in here, I'm just going to share this again for people who might have missed it. Today, I hit a new low in over a year, breaking back into the 130s. I'll share this as well. This is the lowest weight I have been in over a year. This is just to give you a before and after. This was me at my heaviest at around 220, sometimes 225, sometimes 235. And this was me this morning at 139.4. I don't show a lot of photos of me with my shirt off, but just to give you an idea of how lean I'm at right now, that's currently where I'm at. And a lot of this has been through imperfect consistency. What do I mean by that? Well, in the last 712 days of my journey, it hasn't been perfection. It hasn't been 712 days of just pure fasting. It's been a lot of days of good hard work, long fasts, but there have also been shorter fasts. There have been back-to-back days. There have been days where my weight has gone up. It has been imperfect, but I continue to show up for myself. And I knew for me, that's what counted. That's what made all of this work. The reason I'm where I'm at today, right now, is because even as I've gained weight over time and lost weight and gained weight and lost weight, and even when people sometimes in the comments would be like, well, you're just cycling through. It's like, no, you don't understand. I'm working on my journey. Every day is a struggle. Every day is a challenge. Some days easier, some days harder. But every day I get up to learn from myself and move on and move forward. And that's what's important. In the last 86 days of my journey, I have shown what imperfect consistency looks like. This is rounds of ADF where I'll drop weight, but other days where I'll eat a ton of weight or I'll eat a ton of calories. Days where I go on vacation, some longer fasts, some shorter fasts, some days where I eat back-to-back days. But even over those last 86 days, I'm at a place now where I have still not only lost the weight, but continued to keep it off. I am currently working on my 5th round of ADF. I'm currently 40 hours in at this point, and I'm going to be breaking later tonight. Although I'm about to run into a little hurdle here, but I'm going to share that with all of you a little later in this live stream. I showed this slide earlier when I started, but in the last 87 days of my journey, I just want you to see what my average weight was. I ended up gaining almost 30 pounds back in July because I felt really overwhelmed. I let old habits get back into play. But That's why I'm doing these daily live streams. You'll notice when I first started or restarted, or however you want to look at it, right? Because my journey has not ended. I just wanted to highlight what it looked like for me over the last 87 days, ever since I've done daily live streams. My weight has pushed itself down. My average weight going from 157 to 152 to 148 to 146. But look at what's highlighted here. For almost 30, well, no, for 30 days. For 30 days, I was 145.9, 146.5, 145.9. Actually, this is more than 30 days. Look above that. I was 146. So for 40 days, everyone, for 40 days, my weight stayed about the same. Think about your journey. Think about how frustrating it would be to be stuck at the same weight for 40 days on average. Did that stop me from fasting? Did it stop me from going for my walks? Did it stop me from lifting weights? No. In fact, even though the weight stayed around the same, I kept reminding myself, keep pushing, keep doing what you have to do. That is how you're going to find success in this. And sure enough, as I kept pushing on, as I kept focusing on my strength training and building muscle, now the weight is pushing itself down again. Days 71 to 80, 144.5. Days 81 to 87, which is currently right now, I'm averaging around 143. Look at how that weight pushes itself down. Not because I was fasting longer, not because I was doing all or nothing, not because I was going super, super hard, but because I trusted the process, because I practiced imperfect consistency, because I told myself not every day is going to be 110. If you practice the same thing, I say it every week, think about how far you'd be right now if you were doing this with me, if you continued working on imperfect consistency. I'm just gonna skip through a couple slides here, but in my last 10 refeeds, yeah, there have been some refeeds where I'll eat over 6,000 calories, under 3,000 calories. Actually, my last 5 refeeds have been around 3,000 to 3,700. Over my 3,000 calorie limit, but it doesn't stop me. I still trust the process. And even though I've been eating that much, look at how the weight has continued to keep itself off and push itself down. Like I said, if you look at my last 10 refeed weights and my last 10 fasted weights, if you look at the very bottom, my last refeed pushed me up about 4 pounds. It pushed me up to around 144.6. But then if you look at today, this morning, this was only 33 hours after, or 32 hours after. This morning, I dropped down to 139.4. Again, this is my lowest weight now in over a year and I think 13 months. So a year and a month. It's really interesting to see me go from being stuck in the 140s to now being in the low 140s and now breaking into the 130s. I actually was really surprised. I stepped on the scale twice this morning to just make sure that's exactly what it was showing. And that's where it was at. And I feel like I'm going to stay here now because I've figured out so much since that time. Remember when I hit 130s back in 2024, but it didn't last? And I was also pushing 65-hour fasts and 90-hour fasts. I was pushing much higher fasts back then. And now look at the stability of where my weight is. Not by fasting longer, but because I have learned to control other things when it comes to my journey. My last 40 refeeds, my average refeed time around 5 hours, my average calories per refeed around 4,000, average protein a little over 200. Pretty happy with these numbers. Do I wish the calories were lower? Yeah, but I'm not going to beat myself up over it. It's obviously more than just fasting. I've been talking about this for a long time now. My daily step average is close to 16,000 steps a day over the last 86 days. Yesterday's step count was over 15,000. I'm way above my goal of around 13,000 steps a day on average. Strength training wise, I lift weights every morning after a refeed. Does this mean that you have to walk 15,000 steps a day? No, it doesn't. You don't have to walk as many steps as I do. I walk a lot because I live in the city. I have to walk everywhere. I take public transit, I hop on a train, I get on the bus, I ride this kick scooter behind me, or I just walk everywhere I go. I purposely walk steps on the subway just to get more activity in. I enjoy walking, but you don't have to walk that many steps. You don't even have to do steps if you don't want that for your cardio health. Maybe it's a bike ride. Maybe it's on a skateboard. Maybe you love to swim. But don't neglect your cardio health. Make that an important part of your journey as well. Strength training as well. Listen, I'm not telling you that we have to be bodybuilders. Look at how long I've been lifting weights for. I'm nowhere close to a bodybuilder. I just showed you, and I'll show it again here, right? Like here I am. How long is this now? Almost 2 years later, right? I am not a god physique at any point, right? But I'm lean and I'm happy with my progress, right? A lot of people think that if they lift weights, they're all of a sudden going to be a bodybuilder or they're going to be too muscular. I've literally been lifting weights now for almost 2 years and I am nowhere close to that. Number one, I don't have a lot of experience lifting weights and I've had to learn a lot since that time. The beginning of my journey, I was fasting for 90 hours. So it wasn't even about gaining extra muscle. It was just making sure I didn't lose it. I just want people to understand, do not worry about feeling like you're going to be too big. Or if you're afraid of working on strength training because you're afraid that the scale is going to push itself up, you have to get that out of your head. What does it matter what the scale says when, in fact, what's important is, can you fit into your clothes well? Will you have optimal blood work numbers? Those are the things that are important outside of just what a scale says. Don't get me wrong. Breaking into the 130s today, it was great. I loved seeing it. But I also knew I was eventually going to get there because I know that I have excess body fat. But it doesn't ruin my day in what I do. A lot of this, keep messing this up. A lot of this imperfect consistency is based on my 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of the time I am keeping myself in check when it comes to fasting or my calorie count or my walking, my strength training. I do that 80% of the time. In the last 86 days, I have had 73, 80% days where my calorie count is around 3,100 calories. That's pretty good for me. 73 of those times. But if you look at my 20% days, my average calories are way higher, 5,900 calories. Does that mean that you should be eating 5,900 calories? No. This is just what I do on my 20% days. 20% days for me are days where I go out with friends, where I go to a party, where I go on vacation, where I have a long weekend out. And yes, those calorie counts are going to be higher, but look at how often that happens. In the last 86 days, I've only had 13 20% days. It does not happen often. The frequency of this happening means that the good days outweigh the bad. And it gives me the opportunity to still enjoy some of these days, like a wedding, for example, or a party or whatever it might be, without beating myself up too much. So I'm going to share this again because I think this is really important. My goal for the month of October is to not be a certain number on the scale. My goal for the month of October is to put myself at a big enough calorie. My goal for October is to put myself at a big enough caloric deficit to make sure that I do lose 3 pounds of body fat. If you look at what's highlighted in red and green, that is my calorie deficit every day. You'll notice every single day that calorie deficit needs to grow to get to that goal of losing 10,509 calories for the month. If you look at where it's highlighted in yellow, if it's highlighted in yellow, that means I'm off my pace. I am not at the current pace of where I need to be. So let's go into week number 2. But look at what's happened. I have continued to work every single day, and look at where it's highlighted in green. That means I am at pace. I'm above pace. I'm leading pace at that point. And if you look at the last 2 days here, October 15th and 16th, my calorie deficit now is way higher because of my current ADF situation. I'm currently at an 8,200 calorie deficit. I am down 2.4 pounds of body fat. But the thing about it is the pace never ends. Every single day, I have to make sure to increase that number. And tonight, it's no different. I'm refeeding tonight. Tonight's a refeeding day. Tonight, I am going to have a challenge because I'm going to share this right now. I thought today was my 20% day. I thought I was going out with friends today. I'm going out with friends tomorrow on Saturday. And so I thought about this and I was like, okay, well, I'm going out with friends on Saturday. Maybe I'll be eating 6,000 calories on Saturday, maybe 5,000, maybe 7,000, maybe more, hopefully not more. I would guess tomorrow I'll be eating anywhere between 5,000 to 7,000 calories. So I told myself, well, just fast today, Jerome. If you're going to eat that much, fast today. And I really thought about it. And I really want to prove that I can continue losing weight, not doing super long fasts. I want to prove to myself that I can really control my calories. And so that's what my plan is for today. I'm going to be eating today. But because I know I'm eating tomorrow, this is where my brain likes to break, because I'm always trying to find ways to sabotage. Yes, I could fast today, and that gives me the opportunity to eat a lot more tomorrow. Or I could eat today and I could try to keep my calories at around my TDEE, which is around 2,300 calories. And that's what I plan on doing today. Why? Do I have to do it that way? No, I don't. But here's what I'm telling my brain. Jerome, you are going to eat tomorrow. You get to eat today as well. So now you get to eat 2 days in a row. And tomorrow you get to eat whatever you want. You can eat 5,000 calories, 6,000 calories, 7,000 calories. So because you get to do that, today when you eat, you should really keep your calories in check. And that's what my plan is today. My plan is to not go past 2,300 calories. That is my plan for today. Now, whether I hit that mark or not has yet to be seen. But I am not going to beat myself up if I end up eating 2,500 calories or 2,700 calories or even 3,000 or even more than that. I'm not going to be like, well, might as well order the pizza now. No, I have to just keep working on this. All of you know I can push a long fast. I do not have a problem doing that. I can easily go through the day today without eating, but I also want to make sure I lift weights tomorrow. I want to make sure I continue maintaining muscle and building muscle. So I know it's important for me to eat as well. This is also an opportunity for me to continue working on my diet lever, because you and I both know that I will eventually get to a low enough body weight where I cannot fast as long as I typically do. I will eventually come to a point where I need to maintain this weight. And that's going to mean for me eating more regularly, maybe doing OMAD 3-4 times a week and then fasting on the other days. I don't know just yet. But in order for me to do that, I have to continue practicing on eating better. So that's where my plan is for today. Miss Peaceful One with a $2 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the additional support again. Miss Peaceful One says, we believe in you. You can do hard things, coach. Thank you for that, Miss Peaceful One. This has always been the hardest part for me. The diet has always been the hardest part for me. And instead of me just saying, fast longer, Jerome, I'm telling myself it's time to face this challenge. It's time to really work on it. I mean, one of my last refeeds was 2,200 calories, and it was the exact same reasoning because I ate back-to-back days. And because I ate back-to-back days, I was able to achieve a 2,200 calorie day, which is unheard of for me. That typically doesn't happen, but that's because I'm trying to rewire my brain. Do you see what I'm saying here to everyone? This is what I talk about, making small changes. It might not be the change you're looking for, but doing something small like that is rewiring your brain. It's training you to do something different, to do something that you've never done before. And while it might not be the biggest success for you to write in your books or what have you, it is, to me, the stepping stones of getting your good habits down, of building a proper routine, of doing what works for you. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, I am at the point now where I will, oh no, it's time for Fit Check. I know other people have maybe been doing or been asking questions as well, and I want to answer them, but I want to do Fit Check. I want to make sure that I have enough time to help answer questions. And I also have a video that I need to work on. So I need a little time here as well. So if you're curious about what Fit Check is, if any of you are new here, this is where I stand back here and I show you what I look like physically. Why do I do that? For accountability. It's important for me to show you what I look like physically because on days where I gain 5 pounds, 7 pounds, 10 pounds after one day of eating, old Jerome likes to hide. Old Jerome likes to pretend it didn't happen. Old Jerome likes to forget. And I show no accountability. And you know what old Jerome would do after hiding or forgetting? I'd say, well, you already ate shitty the day before. You might as well eat shitty again tomorrow. And then tomorrow, oh, you know what? Let's just eat shitty the whole weekend because we can start on Monday. Do you see that slippery slope? Do you see why it's important for me to be this accountable? It doesn't mean you have to be this accountable. Maybe your accountability is different, but look at people in chat. There's a reason people share the things that they share or they do what they do because they understand that accountability is important for them in that way. So we'll go ahead and we'll do Fit Check. Like I do every day before doing Fit Check, I have been overweight my entire life. People are already sharing it in chat, but they're putting the Fit Check emoji on. I've been overweight since I was a little kid. This has been very common for me since childhood. It's not like I was a skinny kid ever. Actually, my mom was talking to me about this and she was like, no, you were. I was like, I was not. Never. I was never. And she's like, when you were a baby. I'm like, yeah, when I was a baby. Otherwise, I have been like this my entire life. In my teenage years, with this, with my blonde highlights at 17, in my 20s, and even in my 30s, and even in my 40s. Now, I share those photos because I have been not only overweight, but obese and morbidly obese my entire life. I share those photos again so you understand that this has been me since childhood. And I have now lost that weight since I have been like that since childhood. I've lost that weight and I've kept it off now for almost 2 years, I've lost that weight and kept it off for over 2 years, not because I'm taking medication, not because I am on GLP-1, not because I'm on Ozempic, or not because I've had weight loss surgery. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take medication. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider GLP-1 or Ozempic or Wegovy. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider weight loss surgery. But I share all of those photos so you understand that as somebody I'm 44 years old. I'm in my mid 40s. I'm a middle-aged man. For somebody to be this age, to have lost the weight naturally, if that puts any glimmer of hope for you, maybe all that it takes is accountability and working on your habits. That's all that it takes. Whether you believe that or not, I just hope that you know that there's somebody that's done it. Because I know how I was in my 30s, in my 40s, where it's like, well, this is too late. I've never been skinny. I'm never going to get there ever. So I might as well just do this instead. When in fact, you're watching me do this now, eating whatever I want, living my life normally, taking some time away from food, working on more than just fasting. I need people to realize this. This isn't just about fasting. Yes, of course, I run a fasting channel. Yes, of course, I've done some really long fasts. I push myself very, very hard, and you can too. But you have to understand what happens after a 1 week fast. What happens after a 2 week fast? What happens after a 1 month fast? What happens after that? Are you working on your other weight loss levers? Or are you just focused on fasting and nothing else? You're not going to learn if you are just in that mindset. So let's go ahead. Let's do fit check. I am feeling quite lean today. I mean, I showed you that video of me earlier without my shirt off. And I'm currently wearing an extra large boys shirt. I'm wearing shorts that are extra small. These are smaller than a 28 waist. I do wear boys clothes because I'm short. I'm only 5'3". This thing's in the way. So, full front shot, full side shot. I mean, even as I see myself here, it's like I can see how lean I am. If any of you are curious, all you have to do is look at my live stream from like 87 days ago in July or whatever it was, 80 some days ago. And you can see me do fit check back then to where I'm at right now. Side shot, rear, side. And yes, like I'm not super skinny, right? I still have fat here to lose. Now you all saw that video. It's probably a combination of belly fat and probably a combination of loose skin. I mean, let's be real. It's not like the loose skin isn't there. If I can throw this back on, I'll have to fast forward here. Like here especially, right? Oh, Jesus. Like that's loose skin. I mean, you can see that the skin is piling up there, okay? It's just where I'm at. But I know that I still have weight to lose, especially around this area, okay? And that's the thing. I do have loose skin. I show this all the time. I have loose skin here on my neck. I mean, and I've shown before, if you see what I look like prior to that, of course I have loose skin. Look at how big my face was then compared to where it's at now. So I do have loose skin. Yes, this bothers me, but there's only so much I can do. I'm 44 years old, and my goal right now is to not worry about this so much and just keep pushing forward and just keep telling myself, okay, you still have more fat to lose. Maybe you can worry about it later. It's one of the reasons I lift weights as heavy as I do or as often as I do, because hopefully strength training, well, not only does it help with my metabolism, but like it helps with the loose skin. I always talk about how I have loose skin here on my upper arm, right? Like up here, see, you can see it. You can see it right here as I grab on it, right? But it's one of the reasons that like I lift, like, because I feel like it helps keep the loose skin fuller or less, however you call it. I just think it It aesthetically looks better, but I do have loose skin on my lower belly. I have loose skin on my upper inner thighs. That's where the majority of the loose skin is. And I know people always ask about my loose skin and they want to see what I look like with my shirt off. Well, you just saw the video. So obviously, if you need something more in depth, maybe that's something I'll work on in the future, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. So that is Fit Check, and we'll take time now and we'll do Q&A. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will answer whatever I can. If you want to share something in the comments, please feel free to do that as well. In the meantime, while some of you might be asking questions or not, if you are looking for additional help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner, if you're looking for an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. Only me. There's no one else. And we'll get on camera. You don't have to turn the camera on even if you don't want to, or if you don't want to. And we can put a game plan and a strategy together. Usually people come to me for accountability. Listen, I say this a lot now. Losing weight is not rocket science. You and I both know that fasting will get weight off on the scale. You and I both know that eating healthy will result in dropping body fat. You know that strength training is good for you. You know that taking care of your cardio health is good for you. You know that sleeping well and getting rest and recovery is good for you. We all know that. At least most of us do and should. And if you didn't know that, well, now you know. That part's a no-brainer. There isn't much to talk about when it comes to that. You already know how to lose this weight. Most of us are looking for accountability. So if that's something that might be helpful for you, if that's the missing piece for you, show up here in the live streams. Share your results in the comments. I know Eric does it every day. I think Eric's in here. But whatever works for you to share accountability and to share your journey. If you need to work on, or you need an additional layer of help, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can talk to me. My goal is to help people. That's all I'm trying to do with anybody that's here, anybody that's in chat. It's the reason I answer questions. Now, if you want to support in a different way, and this is outside of that, but like, if you want to support me in a different way, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. What is that? It is a membership on YouTube. You'll notice that there are people here in chat who have green next to their name. They have a little badge like this one next to their name. They get to use custom emoji, which, by the way, now that there's a bunch new members, I probably have more emoji that I can make. So I need to put that up. Please continue to give me ideas so I can give some new emoji to my Finally Fasting fam members. You'll also get your name at the intro of these live streams. And if you join the higher tier group, which is our Wednesday, or which is our autophagy group, we have Wednesday late afternoon or evening live streams. On those Wednesdays, other people come on camera. Other people talk through audio. We are doing this together. We have a group coaching session. So if you join that tier, I'll see you on the Wednesdays. It is a different layer of accountability. So maybe if you're hesitant to talk to me one-on-one, maybe you could see what the Wednesdays are like when we do it together as a group. We have a spreadsheet. We all share our individual goals and we talk about it. So, okay, that's all I got. I will scroll up here and I will try to answer any questions. I don't know how high I have to scroll up here, but let me see. It's nice to see all of you chatting in here. Sorry, everyone. I think I'm just reading through some of this. Thanks, Margaret from Facebook. Thanks, Aisha. You guys are so kind with the kind words. Okay, so I know there's some questions, but I'm also just going to throw some comments up here. Writer Family says, I wonder if my sabotage is a way of having something to continue to strive for. Like my brain purposely avoids hitting my goal weight. And this is something that Deja has shared as well. And the reality of it is, who really knows? Only you know exactly what you're going through. It's weird for me. I feel like I have been in the same place, and I feel like because I'm giving myself no opportunity to slip. And when I talk about no opportunity to slip, what I'm saying is I am being so transparent to the point of I'm standing up here every single day. I'm live streaming every single day. I step on the scale every single day. I film everything that I eat. Yes, it's a little obsessive. It is, but it's also my job. And for me, that helps me. It keeps me on track. And I'm not saying you have to do that, writer, or to anyone else here. All I'm saying is maybe if extra accountability is helpful, maybe that's all it takes, is putting that extra accountability. Because here's the thing. Imagine anyone here who's eating. Imagine if you had to take pictures of everything you ate. And I'm not saying if you eat pizza, you take a picture of the pizza. No, what I'm saying is if you ate 3 slices, you take picture or video of those 3 slices, because now you're putting that accountability on the table. Sometimes people find that uncomfortable. Like, I couldn't do that. I don't want people to see how much I eat. Well, would that make it different for you to eat in a different way? I know there are people who don't like to eat a lot when they're at social gatherings or family functions because they don't want people to see how much they actually truly eat. But look at what that does. It changes your behavior. It changes something that you do. Why do you think I film everything I eat or I stand up here? It's a different level of accountability. And yeah, it might sound broken. It might sound like, well, you got something wrong in your brain, Jerome. Maybe. But this is what's working for me right now. And I'm going to continue doing that. It's not hurting anyone. In fact, it's showing the real truth of what I go through and what I'm dealing with. Miss Peaceful One says, we all deserve to be healthy in our bodies. Well said. We must continue to focus on the things we know will help us reach our goals and trust the ups and downs of the process while practicing imperfect consistency. Great way of saying that, Miss Peaceful One. Thank you for sharing that. That's a great point, Ian. I'd rather have loose skin than diabetes and clogged up arteries. Same here. As somebody who's a type 2 diabetic, as somebody who has high blood pressure, which also I no longer have high blood sugar or high blood pressure, and I don't even take medication. It's all pretty much been reversed in that way through good habits. And I completely agree with you. So a lot of times when people complain about loose skin and I don't want to look like this and I don't want to, it's like, so you'd rather be a type 2 diabetic? You'd rather not be able to climb a flight of stairs? I just think sometimes our priorities are a little mixed up. And I'm not saying that I totally get it with the loose skin. Do I want this? Do I appreciate how it? I don't. I wish it wasn't that way, but I wouldn't trade it for being where I was 2 years ago. Can you guys believe it hasn't even been 2 years yet? Or maybe it has been a long time. I don't know. Sometimes it's wild when I see photos of myself from 2 years ago. And I'm like, that wasn't even 2 years ago at this point. Anyway, hi, put on the tiara. I see you in here in chat. There's someone on Facebook spamming, so let's get rid of that. However long that takes. That's a good point too, Cap Rising. It's okay to have loose skin. It's like when a pregnant woman's body returns to the non-pregnant state. You can't go back to a pre-pregnant body. That's a good point too. Yeah, do you notice? Do you think so, Maggie? Maggie says the loose skin is shrinking from last time you showed it. I mean, I'll keep crossing my fingers and I'll keep working on whatever I need to work on. So hopefully things continue to get better. Here we go. Aisha, and I'm looking for Margaret's as well. There's Margaret. Aisha says, what time do you plan on live streaming tomorrow? Margaret says the same thing. So remember, tomorrow is a 20% day for me. So I will probably be streaming. Well, actually, will I be streaming earlier? Oh, actually, I have a meeting at 4 tomorrow. So tomorrow, I would say between, okay, we're going to make this a little more open because I don't know exactly for sure. It depends. So usually on the weekends, I like to wake up a little later sometimes. Sometimes I like to get to the office a little later. So this is going to depend when I get into the office, but I will say anywhere between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow. I know that's a very big, wide time frame there, but I'll say tomorrow's live stream somewhere between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Central. I wish I could give you a more definite time, but it really depends when I get into the office. So thanks for the questions though, Aisha and Margaret. That's right. I forgot Elle had mentioned that. An empty plate emoji. I like that too. Elle says, do we have enough to have all Chicago sports emoji yet? I mean, do you really want to have sports emoji? Do you want to throw Cubs emojis up there or Bears or Bulls ones? I mean, it's not bad, but there are other emoji that I want to get rid of and replace them with. So I'm open. And actually, that's not a bad idea, especially for ones that I just put in there because I didn't know what else to put. I'll have to take a look. JC shares 1,400 calories today, 150 grams of protein, a lot of protein off of 1,400 calories, and an hour cardio plus sauna. I love that for you, JC. Thanks for keeping us posted. I see JC sharing their stats almost daily at this point. So thank you for sharing. Sharika, I wanted to become a member of the higher tier, but I may never be able to join in the Wednesday lives because of work. Is there a benefit still? So there could be. It really depends. Usually there are people who are on there every week and they still use the spreadsheet, the communal spreadsheet, and we go over it. That might depend, Sharika. I know other people in chat might be able to share. For people who are on our Wednesdays, what do you think? Do you think that if somebody might not be able to make it to every Wednesday, that it would still be beneficial? I think that might be ultimately up to you, Sharika, but I think that just varies. I think the advice here is for people who actually are on the Wednesdays and if it's helpful in that way. Blessed Life says, I often see posts on how much better people get treated after significant weight loss. Is this exaggerated or is there some truth to this? Not that it should matter, but I find it interesting. So, and anybody who's lost weight, please feel free to chime in as well. Have you noticed being treated differently? Because the truth of the matter is, Blessed Life, I get treated differently. And because I have been pretty much morbidly obese my entire life, the way I get treated today is a lot different than how I was treated when I gained all the weight. But that could also just be based on my insecurity. That could be based on how I felt about myself individually, and the confidence wasn't the same. But yeah, sometimes people talk to me more today. People look at me differently today, it seems like. I don't know if it's exaggerated per se, but I do also feel like maybe some of it is in my confidence and the way I carry myself today versus how I carried myself when I was 225 or 235. It's a good question though, and I'm sure there are other people who have lost a significant amount of weight that can maybe share their experience with that. Willis says, I find sometimes I have struggled with feeling like I don't deserve to reach my goals, or I'm scared of what I do once I get there. So Willis, I mean, as somebody who is continuously working on getting to his goals, first of all, you deserve to reach your goals. We all deserve to reach our goals. We just like Miss Peaceful One said, we all deserve to be healthy and figure a lot of this out. But even when it comes to goals, I don't know if people necessarily just hit their goals once they hit a certain weight. I think there is something that we can always continue to work on. I wouldn't even worry about being scared of what you're going to do when you get there, because there's always work that needs to be done. It's also just learning from yourself. There's a lot to be learned along the way. So maybe that's the best way I can put it. That's a good thing to talk about, though. Melly Mel says, hi, everyone, just dropping in. I'll catch the replay. Hi, Melly Mel. Thanks for stopping by. I'm at 115 hours fasted. Congrats. I was shooting for 168, but I've been feeling weak all day, even with electrolytes. I decided to break tonight, about 120 hours. Still a huge win. And again, this is what I'm talking about giving yourself grace. Melly Mel shot for 168, is going to break at around 120. Should Melly Mel feel ashamed, feel embarrassed? No. All that means is you've put in a huge fast, and now it's time to refeed and then figure out what the next steps are after that. Thank you for sharing with us, Melly Mel. Almada says, Jerome, put the before and after pic from like today and 2 weeks ago to see the improvement. That's a good idea. I'll have to do that. I mean, I can't do it right now because I would have to search through it, but that's a good idea. I like that. All right, everyone. I'm just scrolling down here just to see if there's anything to put up or if I missed. If any of you are just hopping on, I am answering questions. So if you have questions, please feel free to share. A lot of you are sharing about how being overweight then and now, you've noticed how you're being treated. I get that. I've been there. Lucy says, hello, everyone. I lost 90 pounds in 2011 to 2012. Hi, Lucy, by the way. Doing Atkins. I was absolutely treated better as a smaller person. I feel invisible as an older, obese woman, but I'm okay with that. LOL. And, I think, again, a lot of this, though, is how we treat ourselves and how we carry ourselves. I think a really important thing that I will continue to point out is your self-worth, regardless of what the scale says. Because even as I talk to you here today, who knows where I'm going to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Hopefully happy and healthy, but I also know that I have to be kind to myself no matter what, that I should have been kind to myself even in the past. Some of you might disagree with that, and you might think, well, no, you should be hard on yourself because why did you let yourself get there? I mean, I was like that most of my life. I still feel like I deserve to be kind to myself back then. That's how I feel about it, though. This is a good point, too. Cap Rising says, honestly, we should only care about ourselves and not worry about other people and their opinions. And I believe in that as well. And that's the hard part, is as much as I want to not think that, sometimes I don't know if it's my lizard brain that just is always worried about how people feel about me. But yeah, I get that. And you're completely right. You're completely right. So, okay, everyone, I think that's it. I think I answered what I could. And hopefully many of you who are here right now got a lot out of this. If you found this motivating, if you found this inspiring, come back tomorrow. We're going to do this again tomorrow. I've been showing up every day now for the last 87 days. And, here's also a fact that I know is going to be hard for many of you to deal with. Maybe not. But I will not be doing this forever. Eventually, I cannot do daily live streams forever. I will eventually I won't just do them once a week. I will probably do them more frequently, but I know that these dailies will not last forever. So take advantage of them while they're still available, because it's only a matter of time before I'll be like, hey, we're going to miss tomorrow, or we might miss 2 days in a row. But if it's helpful for you, continue to show up. Take advantage of that. That's what I'm here for, to help you all get to where you want or need to be, which is to be happy and healthy. That's the only goal. Before I sign off of here, a extra special thanks to Miss Peaceful One, to Shauna, and to Elena for your super chats, for the gifted donations. Shauna, thank you for gifting memberships to others as well. I appreciate all the support today. Thank you for that additional support to all of you. Thank you to my Finally Fasting fam members who are part of the Finally Fasting fam. Thank you for supporting me in that way. And thank you to all my everyday regulars that are here sharing your accountability, sharing your wisdom and knowledge with others, continuing to be supportive and kind to the ones that are in here, whether they're new or they're here every day. Thank you for that. It means a lot to me. That's how I envision this community, and it's a shining example at this point. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Let's do this again tomorrow. I will be refeeding tonight, and I will be refeeding tomorrow. It's nice to be able to eat 2 days in a row. It doesn't happen often. So, but today is going to be a very controlled refeeding day. That's my hope. You'll see what that looks like tomorrow anyway. All right. With that being said, I'm going to do my obligatory wave goodbye. I will see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.